So working with Arsenal has definitely given me the freedom to be able to actually run my company the way I need to and grow the way I want to. My name is Carter Doyle. I'm the owner and founder of Assett Commercial Services in Boise, Idaho. I heard about Arsenal through a friend of mine who was trying to see kind of what the options were for a marketing team. He suggested them. I reached out, and kind of the rest is history. Ultimately, the deciding factor for me was being able to take off at least a couple hats, not having to wear every single hat in the entire company. So being able to kind of offload even just a little bit was very enticing to me. So it was something I was looking forward to, of exporting that out to someone who actually has a specialty and expertise in that field. So it was definitely a draw for me. So far, it's been really good. It's been very helpful. It's been very integrated, so it's been nice. Yeah, it's been a positive experience overall. I think the best way to describe how our team is kind of integrated has been that it's a lot of phone calls, a lot of texts, and a lot of emails. It's the most stripped down version of it, but that's missing a lot of personality in there. So it's been a very helpful and a very seamless integration process of Ryan and I kind of working together, making sure we're on the same page as far as what we're looking for, the target clients, the target audience, and it's been a very active two-way communication street. So I'll send him some potential areas of that I want to look at or focus on. He'll send back some feedback of what he's found on the market, and then he brings his expertise as well, which has definitely been helpful to be able to say, hey, maybe this week, maybe this month, we focus on this as opposed to that, and it's been really helpful. So, but yeah, it's been nice because it hasn't just been me coming up with all the ideas and him just implementing. It's been a very much a two-way streak of give and take on input and feedback. Some of the strengths that have really helped me and my business have been the softwares and the phone calls that they've been able to do. Whether it's the portals, whether it's the recording phone calls, you can go back and kind of see where the conversation is left at, as well as being able to just kind of actually find the right person to get in contact with. So instead of just calling a bunch of front desk people, you're actually able to get in contact with the person who's either the decision maker or has direct communication with the decision maker. So that's been invaluable. So I think cold calling can be a difficult and frustrating uphill battle, but I think that a lot of the implementations that have been made through Arsenal have kind of reinvigorated my opinion of cold calling. So the onboarding process was fairly seamless. It was a lot of phone calls, some Teams meetings, and just kind of some emails. So pretty standard stuff as far as the actual integration and communication process goes. But the Teams meetings and the phone calls themselves were very helpful because it gave you kind of a person that you're actually talking to, and it helped you develop the actual personality of who you'd be working with, as opposed to just someone you're blasting off emails to and being told, hey, meet here for an appointment. So as a whole, the onboarding process was uneventful in the best way possible because it was seamless and helped kind of develop a actual person that you're working with, as opposed to just a email address to send things to. The relationship has been great. It's been both easy and seamless. So he is definitely, in my mind, part of the actual team and foundational structure of the company. So that's been invaluable, and it's been a huge asset as far as just being able to grow and maintain sanity. Because like I said before, it was just something I was very interested in, was taking off hats. And so it was good to know that part of the company that I was handing that section off to was both competent, confident, and able as well. So it's been really good. Ryan's been great. So the initial portion of a post quote walkthrough is I'll either call him or he'll call me, just to kind of do a quick touch point of, hey, how to go, highlights, thoughts, things like that. And then usually within a couple of days, I'll push out the actual quote itself. And then once the quote has been pushed out, I generally like to follow up with either an email or a call, day of or next day. I'll give it about a week, maybe a week and a half. And if I haven't heard anything back, Ryan's been very helpful about kind of reminding me, hey, we haven't heard back from this person. And it kind of just comes down to case by case on whether he tackles reaching back out or I do. So it hasn't really been a set thing. It's kind of been pretty fluid as far as case by case scenario. And I think that's been good. That's been helpful. Since I'm still pretty new to Arsenal, it's only been a few months. The results have been overwhelmingly good, and it's been a lot of progress made. As far as projects closed themselves, we've had a fair number of them. Those have been very helpful and very encouraging. But I think what's been even more encouraging is kind of the pipeline that's being built and the progress and traction that's being made in the market itself. So a lot of the clients we have settled on and closed on have been good, solid, quality contracts. And the other part has been just kind of starting the communication of getting in contact with the big dogs of larger facilities in order to kind of get those contracts warmed up and kind of ready for the eventual yes. Yeah, so as of right now, we are sitting right at about $8,000 a month of monthly revenue, which has been pretty great. So many more to come, and be sending off some new quotes here in just a little while with hopefully nearly double that with just a couple of them. But yeah, as of right now, we're sitting at right at about $8,000 a month of monthly revenue. So it's been great. So right now, if everything kind of goes through and we continue with the track we're on, we have roughly about between $20,000 and $30,000 kind of still out there waiting to be closed. So who knows, with some luck and persistence, we'll hopefully see those come to fruition in the next, I don't know, 2 to 5 months. Ryan and I were able to have a pretty productive conversation about kind of what exactly I'm looking for, some questions to ask to kind of get a basic understanding of what the facility looks like before I even show up, just to kind of better hone what we're looking for. And since then, a lot of our results have been a lot more productive and a lot closer to what we're actually looking for. So yeah, it's been an overall positive experience because they were able to kind of reshape what we're looking for and better hone our craft. The one that really sticks out in my mind is actually one we're going to be starting later this month. So that's going to be one that comes out to roughly just shy of $3,600 a month. It's a 5-day week place downtown, which is we're going to be starting, like I said, in a couple of weeks. So that one's been really exciting, and it's kind of given Ryan and I a great focal point and kind of pivoting point as well. Of kind of that's the gold standard of what we're looking for, and so we're kind of are trying to get the rest of them to at least emulate that or as close as possible. I think one of the big blessings that Arsenal has been for me right now, as far as a startup company, is that it's not something that I have to try to master myself, as far as getting the resources, getting the office space, training someone new, buying the software, things like that. So it's been hugely helpful in the sense that I'm able to get experts level experience and software and everything else at the startup level. So that's been hugely helpful. As far as the cost goes, it is undeniable that there is definitely a premium paid for experience. So I would say that, yes, it is worth the cost, but you just need to kind of budget appropriately and understand that the cost upfront may kind of send you to a bit of a sticker shock, at least for a new startup company like myself. But understand the benefits will outweigh the cost. Well, I think personally, since you're asking me, I'll give you my answer. Personally, I much prefer in-person meetings. Teams and phone calls, things like that are very useful, and they're a great tool to have and to implement. But if you're asking me, in-person is tenfold better because there's a human element. You can actually flesh things out a little more, and you're actually spending time with a person to develop that relationship a lot more and a lot better than you can with just through a digital screen. A lot of the touch points we've had have been kind of as needed. So there's always a Friday roll up, which has been great. It's just kind of what have we done? What's ahead? What are the problems? What to look forward to? So that's been really nice. As far as the phone calls or the texts or things like that, it's mostly been as needed, whether it was a new appointment or a great phone call you just had, or we're catching up after an actual quote to kind of just decompress and kind of transfer notes. So as far as rhythmic events, mostly just the only scheduled one is a Friday email from him giving a weekly roll up. And then outside of that, it's touch points as needed. So currently right now I'm revenue share. And that was made mostly on the decision that, again, as an upstart company, it was cheaper in the short term to get that. And so that was more enticing for me. Well, I guess the best case scenario would be that by this time next year, we're able to have a revenue so much in excess that the monthly cost is kind of negligible, and it's just kind of not even an afterthought as far as a marketing team. So as far as numbers, who knows? We'll see. I don't want to start throwing out numbers because I would love to surprise myself even with that. But the goal right now is just kind of keep growing, keep going, and add team members on who are going to help the team as much as Ryan has in the future, whether it's managerial, office admin, things like that. I would say give it a chance. Give it some time and give it a chance. And dive in, be as open and honest as you can with the person you're working with in order to best prepare them and you as far as what you're looking for, and kind of prep the expectations of kind of the facilities you're looking for, the contracts you're looking for, things like that. So the more you communicate, the better. Yeah, for sure. I would definitely recommend the service to pretty much anybody else who's looking for a great return for the investment. Let's just keep going. Ryan, keep doing everything you're doing. Keep bringing the great suits to work every day. And let's see how fast and how great we can grow this company.